All right, guys, welcome back. Here's the stock market rundown. Before I get started, though, give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. I'll keep trying to put you guys on winners. I'm not always successful at it, but again, I do look at the charts quite often, so I'm able to at least give you my interpretation of the charts. And this is by no means investing advice. It's just my opinion. Let's get into it. All right, SPY. Here we go. What we got? Well, they popped it yesterday. Here's all you really need to pay attention to. Throw out all the big picture stuff that I always talk about, the longer term stuff, bear market rally stuff. Yes, I do believe this is a bear market rally. I think that we're just testing the upper range of this rally, and they chop it up and down through the upper range to shake people out. But let's look at the short term stuff. And here's what we got. We've got island cluster top reversal pattern right here. See the island? How it's just floating up here by itself? That's a major reversal pattern that is part of technical analysis. And we got the nice follow through sell off, but we haven't got any further sell off. All we've gotten is this chop back and forth. It's just basing out. Basically, the dip buyers are stepping in. The 200-day moving average is sitting right down here at 300. And so that's support basically right now. We've got a support down around 300, and they keep chopping it through there. And what they did is they ran it all the way up, started to enter the gap, but they haven't filled the gap yet. So what I told everyone in past videos when we saw this island top reversal is what they'll do oftentimes to shake out anybody that took the pattern as a short signal or a sell signal. Is they'll run it up and tag the gap, and sometimes even chop it into the island right here. So they'll run up and slice it into here, maybe intraday, run some stops. That's basically there's a possibility of a stop raid right in there, and then it reverses and rolls over. So be on the lookout for that. That doesn't mean that's going to happen, but that's the potential for kind of that stop raid shakeout move. Now, if it recovers the entire island and starts to make an hourly close above the top of the island, and I've got the top of the island right here at this 322.30. I know there's one candle right here above it, but most of the candles are right there at 322.30. So an hourly close back above there, and that pretty much foils or negates this island top reversal pattern. So watch for that as well. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is the probability says that, this is a major reversal topping pattern, and we're just getting the shakeout, the chop basically before it starts to roll over. Doesn't mean that has to play out, but we, if we roll over here and it starts to sell off, then I would expect us to run down and tag the 300 again. And a break below 300 would be a substantial break in support. That would be a break in the 200-day moving average, and that would be a break in this near-term support here. And that sets us up for the bear market, the next leg down in the bear market. So again, nobody knows what's going to happen. All I'm trying to do is lay out the possible scenarios and also give my idea of what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong though, but we'll see. And then the only other thing that we really need to focus on is tech. Everybody that knows this rally knows that this rally is basically tech, and it's only tech, and all we have to watch is tech. So it makes it pretty easy, I think, for macro traders to trade the indices because you just have to watch tech, and if it breaks, then the market breaks because it's just a thin rally. The breadth of the rally, the winners or the strong runners are just the FANG stocks basically. So we watch that, and that'll give us an idea. Here's Q's. Had an uptrend right here. Looks like it broke the other day, and we did a back test. It's starting to roll over. It's not that impulsive, but it is rolling over. So, I need to see some sort of an impulsive move, either a gap down or a big sell-off, something to trigger that breakdown in tech. But looking at the bigger chart, the weekly chart, and I said this in, I think, my video yesterday, here's here's the top end of this price channel that the triple Qs, which is your tech ETF, has been in for the last 10 years. And we've exceeded that top end right here. So this has been a really strong momentum fueled rally, but this is on the weekly chart. So if we sell off, the rest of the week and close back within resistance, then that's a false breakout on the weekly chart. So let's watch for that. Doesn't mean it will happen, but that's in play. So, and we're starting to sell off a little bit. So if this continues, in this day, if we close lower, this might be a doji, a reversal shooting star doji. So look for continued selling to confirm that reversal candle. If we get that, we got an hour left in the trading day. And then that probably sets us up in stage to close the weekly back below resistance, setting up the false breakout. And it all kind of pieces together. Moving on, let's look at XLV real quick. This just chopping sideways. Here's the weekly chart, just sideways, nothing to do there. Let's look at Apple and Microsoft. So we're selling off today. Nothing crazy. Still above support. Here's your trend line right here on the daily chart, and we're just up here. So you'd expect that at some point this is going to come down and tag that trend line again. But we don't know when that's going to happen. So there's really no trade, but it's about 4%, 3.5% down. So we have to sit there and just wait for that. And then we need to wait for a break in trend. If this rally is going to fail, then these things need to break these uptrends. Here's Microsoft. Okay, so here's an hourly chart on Microsoft. I have this trend line marked out. It's not the cleanest. You could probably move it. You could move it to here, and maybe we're at support. But I only have a couple data points there, so it's not the best. I had it right here. Ultimately, it's not clean enough for me to feel super confident on it, but we are getting some selling. And then the bigger trend line on Microsoft's down here. You can see we had a couple reactions along that support line. So you would expect a pullback down to this support line, and then if the market rally is going to end, this needs to break this support line. So until that happens, the market rally might soften up, but it's not gonna reverse trend until we see these things break. So we got a little ways to go, a little more work to be done. Microsoft, kind of went parabolic, so maybe it comes down equally as hard, but again, we have to just watch it. And Walmart, we got the pump today, which did catch me off guard, I do have to admit. However, still profitable on the trade, just gave up some profit. Here's the thing, we're at resistance right here. I entered the trade way back here and have been profitable for most of the trade. They pumped it today with some news announcement on some service with pretty much no details, but ultimately it was just a pump basically is what I see out of that. But what they do, they ran it right up to resistance right here. And this is the major resistance. We're looking at the bigger patterns here. And this is why I'm still short this stock. Even though today was a pretty much vertical day after the news came out, you have this big bearish rising wedge pattern on the daily chart and on the weekly chart, and that's still in play. It's still a bearish pattern. We also had the false breakout right here on the daily pattern and the weekly pattern, and we sold off. Today they ran up and just did a tag of resistance. This is actually an objective area to short the stock. Right here at this resistance of this bearish rising wedge pattern. They ran up and tagged it, and most likely this is where the rally ends on this latest news. So watch for this to continue to sell off. Although, they did it's very impulsive, this move. So they wiped out all these days of losses, I guess, in just an hour or two. So a very impulsive move, and there was a lot of volume behind it. So we're going to have to watch this. I will definitely be stopping out of this trade at break even at this point. And the reason why is because we've already been here. We already filled this and did the shakeout move right here. And then we started to sell off. So if they start to run it higher above this 127.96, then that's the second tag of this, and it should actually continue higher now. So not looking to hold on to this thing unless it sells off here, but it is at resistance, and this is an objective area to short it. So that is really all I got on that one. Redfin. So I've been watching this one for a while. I took a shot at it a while ago, exited it a long time ago, and this thing looks like a good short right now. I am short this one. Here's the thing. Nice uptrend line in Redfin right there. And then we broke the uptrend right there. And we then created a secondary uptrend line right here. So they didn't want to give up on this thing. And they continued to run it higher. But now the momentum's starting to break. And you can see that there's divergence in the PPO and the RSI, so that's signaling the momentum is starting to fade. So we've got and then we got the break of the trend line. So I put out a post on the community board this morning showing everyone this break and said watch it. And sure enough, we're getting follow through to the downside. So I'd expect this to start to roll over, and that's why it looked like a good short to me, and it is rolling over. So we'll look for continuation to the downside. Probably going to at least come down to this. My line's slightly off, but it's about 31. So yeah, the trade right now that I see is down to 31. Could be more, but we'll just have to watch for that, see if we can't get that. You also have this former peak right here at 32.77, but I think the support is actually right there at this 31. So we'll watch that. Moving on. This one, Zoom, looks like it wanted to break, but they've kind of recovered it. So this one has this bearish rising wedge right here. Started to break, but I was watching it, and then it started to recover. I didn't think it was as clean as Redfin, and so it looks like they've started to recover it. So unless it gets some sort of impulsive sell-off candle into the close, then this one still has not broken yet. Someone pointed out this WGO from the community, and I want to point it out. Looks good actually when I look at it. So here's the thing: Winnebago, WGO. Here's your rally, your nice clean trend line rally. Just held that structure very cleanly, and then it broke. It actually broke right there. Started to break. They recovered it the next day. Then it broke. It's been chopping right through here, starting to break. And then here it definitively broke, where we just went sideways. It did the back test, broke down sideways, and then broke down again. So I see support right here at the 61 level. Where I get that is from these reactions right here. You can see held support there, held it there. Held support all through here, resistance all through here. Then it broke in a nice impulsive move higher, and then it held a support right there. It also held the support right here. It dipped below it, but recovered it. So we're at support now, and if this breaks, if there's a breakdown here, then that sets us up for continuation to the downside. So next move down I see is right there. Right about, let me tighten it up a little bit. Right there at 54 bucks. So if it breaks the 61 and can close below, we probably are going to tag 54 bucks. And that is a gain of about 11.5%. So we'll watch that. That's not bad. There is negative divergence as well. You can see it all through here. Lower peaks on the PPO, lower peaks on the RSI as prices have continued to go higher. Okay, finally, we've got gold. I'll try to run through these fast, but we do have a breakout in gold. Here you go. Going back to the daily, let's look at the weekly. This is bigger picture stuff here. Here's your resistance right here at 1790, about 1790. And that goes all the way back near the all-time highs. This was your overshoot right here. This was not your resistance. It was just an overshoot of resistance, and then it failed and then held resistance. You can see 3 times held resistance there, and there. Then it finally broke into the bear market, and we're there now. So here you go, breaking out. Not that impulsive. So Not the cleanest breakout. We'll have to watch that. Whether that holds or not, you know, it has yet to be seen. But potentially a big move higher in gold coming tomorrow, or they fade it back down and it holds below 1790. So we'll watch that to see what happens. Let's see what the miners think of the breakout in gold. So here's GDX, and you can see GDX is right there. So we broke out GDX, came down, held support, but the day's not over. So watch where this closes out on GDX. 37.53 is about the support level. Again, it's not an impulsive breakout. When I see breakouts, I look for impulsive moves of people repositioning, and I don't see that here, so that's suspect. Here's Barrick, just up slightly, fading into the close a little bit, nothing crazy. And AEM looks a little interesting because we had the breakdown of this bearish rising wedge right here. We broke down, but it recovered. I grabbed some of this yesterday. I saw that it wasn't selling off that strong, and it looked like a false breakdown, so I grabbed it, took that up here, but I've since sold it because I have to see what's going to happen with gold now. But yeah, we do have this bearish rising wedge, and we did have a false breakdown right here. So this might be the momentum it needs to break to the upside and make a run to the highs here up around 69.60. So that's kind of an idea. That's all I got, guys. Really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you want to call me a clown, go right ahead and do that. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.